Hello and welcome. You are listening to the At Home with Ifeno podcast. This podcast is for anyone, male and female, who believes that the home is the cornerstone and foundation of a flourishing society and a better world. Here, we'll guide you through the intricate journey of building a home that's not just a physical space. Whether you are single, preparing to share your life with another, a couple cultivating a shared dream, or parents tending to the garden of their children's hearts. Every other week, we'll talk about topics like practical tips on managing family finances, creating a beautiful home, conversations on courtship, marriage, parenting, and much more. The At Home with Ifeno podcast offers a rich tapestry of inspiration and support. Join us as we explore creating homes where love resides, families thrive in wisdom, and the seeds of a brighter future are sown, just as God intended. Hello, and welcome to At Home with Ifeno. Today is a great day. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you why I'm so excited. It's been a while when I felt like this. I have a VIP on the show today. So I'm not going to be alone. But before we get there, I just want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are connecting with us globally. How are you today? It's a new month. Ifeno, we are in August. August, how did we get here? We got here because God said we should see today. And we are so grateful for this month of August. It promises to be a wonderful one. Like I said, I am not the one going to be speaking for the next 2 episodes for this month. I have a guest on the show. Don't worry, I will invite her very soon, and she's going to do justice to our focus for this month of August. So I welcome you to August, and I say that this month you should be expectant. It's a month of new beginnings, of possibilities, of restoration in your home, in your marriage, in your business, whatever it is. Be sure that on this episode and even the rest of the months to come, At Home with Ifeno will be serving you with things that will help improve your life, your family life, your parenting, and even your relationship with your spouse. So in this month of August, we will be exploring a topic that affects every family and every relationship. And I have tagged it, The Tone of a Home, Why Manners and Respect Still Matter in Family Life. The Tone of a Home, Why Manners and Respect Still Matter in Family Life. And I'm sure some people will say, Ifeno, what has manners and respect got to do with the tone of a home? Don't worry. Our VIP guest for today is an international consultant in this area. She has so many things about her, but don't worry. When she comes, she will tell us about her. She's a very lively person, exciting person. So if you have been feeling that, I hope this person is not boring. No, she's not boring. She's full of life. So be very expectant. Why many people focus on finances, education, achievements concerning their home and their marriage, and in building a strong home. The atmosphere within the tone, within our home is often more important. And today we are going to be focusing on understanding the tone, of our home. So I want you to get that sweet spot and get ready, because I want to invite my guest today. Please give a warm At Home with Ifeno welcome to Mrs Eniola Onakoya, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. I'm very glad to be here today. Thank you, ma'am.
We are so glad. It's been a while we had a guest. The last time a guest was here was in February. So you can imagine the
Wow.
long stretch. So
Wow.
August promises to be an exciting one. And just like I said, my guest is Mrs. Eniola Onakoya. Eniola has a lot of sides to her. But one thing I know about her personally is that she's very colorful. Very colorful.
Thank
And
you.
even in her conversation today, just get ready. She's going to make it very colorful and light. So, Eniola, before we go into today's conversation, can you share with my listeners one of your hobbies? Because maybe some people are wondering whether they have hobbies, and your hobby might be something nobody knew could be a hobby. So, can you share with them one of your hobbies? And then, secondly, whenever your name is called Eniola Onakoya, what do you want my listeners to always remember about you? Thank you.
Okay. All right. So one of my hobbies, just one out of many, is reading.
Wow.
Reading. Yes, yes. That's just one of it. And
Okay.
when you hear my name, I'd like you to remember, first and foremost, that I am a loving child of a loving God,
Mm,
right? And
mm,
I am a wife to one man, a mother
mhm.
to proper children, and a certified international etiquette consultant and educator.
Wow,
Yes.
wow, wow. Thank you for being so simple and straight to the point. So, Eniola is an international etiquette coach and educator. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. You did.
Okay.
You did.
And let me add, she's a very colorful person. If you see her, you'll be attracted to her. Okay. So today we are going to be, for today, we're having this topic or this theme for August in two parts. So for today's focus, we are going to be talking about how do we understand the atmosphere of our home, because the topic is the tone of a home and how manners and respect connect to the tone of our homes. So when you hear this phrase, the tone of a home, what actually comes to your mind, Mrs. Eniola?
Hmm. Okay, so when you hear tone, tone has to do with sound, so to say.
Hmm.
However, within this context, the tone of a home is the emotional atmosphere people experience in their home or when you walk through the door of somebody's home. I mean,
Hmm.
it doesn't have anything to do with materialistic things like furnitures, colors, plants, what have you. It's about how people feel when they're in their home or when they visit you. Is there warmth? Is there respect? Is there peace? Is there safety? Or is it a flip where you have so much tension, fear, criticism, conflict? So the tone of a home is actually created through daily words, attitude, habits, and relationship in that home.
Hmm. Hmm. It's about emotional connection beyond the physical beauty of the house.
Exactly,
I'm
exactly.
trying to reiterate what Miss Eniola is
Yes,
saying. So
the emotional atmosphere, how people feel
how they
in the house,
feel.
how the children feel. Do they feel safe?
Wow.
I mean, is there always conflict? Or is there
Hmm.
warmth? Is there so much love? Is there peace? Is there safety? Is there respect? Or there's always conflict, criticism, fear,
Hmm.
fear to make a mistake, fear to get into trouble, and all that. So that is actually what determines the tone of a home. That's what it is, basically.
Hmm. There is something very heavy about me, what Miss Eniola is saying. Okay, so with what you are saying, it means that this tone of the home is created every day. So it's not just a one-time event. every day
Absolutely.
we
Yes.
are investing or depositing something that creates this tone of our homes. So do you
Exactly.
think that
Yes.
our families are underestimating the way we communicate at home? Do you think as parents, the way we respond to our children, or even between spouse, husband and wife, the way we are communicating, do you think that we are not taking it seriously? Because it looks as if anything can go in many of our homes. What will you say about, families not underestimating our everyday communication in the family?
Well, to be very honest and practical, I will say that yes, some people understand the nitty-gritty of this thing. Some parents do, some families do, and they pay attention to the detail. But I think majority of the percentage assume that it's only major conflicts that probably damage family relationships. But
Mm,
that is not it. It's actually the little repeated interactions, things that happen, however we want to say it, whether we greet each other every day or how we respond when somebody makes a mistake or how we react when somebody
mm,
makes a mistake. Are we listening attentively to one another or we're always dismissive? This seemingly ordinary moments actually accumulate over time and becomes the emotional climate of the family. And
mm,
what happens is children, especially, they absorb these patterns because they now begin to see them as normal. And then it just becomes who they are until they begin to interact with other people. That's when they realize that, oh, wow. So, I mean, you mean we can do it another way? So
mm.
usually, I would say majority of the people actually take these things for granted, but we ought to all be in the nitty-gritty, in the details.
Mm. So, there's this popular saying about the training of a child, that there's a phrase: when a child is well behaved, or, demonstrates manners and respect outside, is said that, the child has been well trained or has proper home training and something like that. So, do you think that respect and simple manners are fading away? Because it is becoming common today to see more of disrespect, and people just, no courtesy, people just do things haphazardly. And when maybe you bring them to order or say, oh, you could do this better, not just for the children, including adults, it's like, just manage it and go. And, would you think that manners and this respect, which is connected to the tone of the home that we're talking about, do you think is fading
Yeah.
away? And is there any reason why you think it's fading away in our homes today?
That's a very, very interesting question. And I must put a disclaimer here that for every response I give, there's a percentage who is very intentional, right?
Mm,
And there's
mm,
another percentage who probably just skips the nitty-gritty and feel like it's not a big deal. It's just a small thing, so it doesn't matter. So the
mm,
truth is, yes, several factors contribute to this. Now, we now live in a fast-paced world where, if people are saying they're stressed, there's so much busyness, there's constant digital distractions. The child has a phone, mommy has an iPad, we're all busy with one gadget or the other. This digital world has reduced, meaningful face-to-face interactions drastically. And when
mm,
God made us, He made us to be social beings. So if we do not intentionally relate to one another, we don't even know what we're missing out on until we have to relate with people and we're like, so why is the person upset? If I didn't greet, so what? What's the big deal? But many people
mm,
have also come to associate manners with formality rather than seeing them as an everyday expression of kindness and respect. They
mm,
believe that, oh no, it's only when we're formal. Oh no, it's only when we're in a part. No. In some homes, familiarity has actually led people to believe that courtesy is unnecessary among family members. I mean, there's no
mm,
need to say hi, good morning to your sibling or good night to your sibling. Why? But the opposite is true. Because
mm.
people who live closest to us are actually the ones who often need our kindness the most. So yes, it is fading away because there's no intentionality and enforcement in certain homes. And you can put that as a result of so many people are busy, parents are busy, no time to correct children. When they come back, they're so tired, to make that correction, that the correction of an error the child just made now. I mean, they're like, I'll make it tomorrow. And then tomorrow is a new day of busyness for them, stress, constant digital distractions and all that. So children don't even have an opportunity to interact nowadays because daddy comes back, he's on his laptop, he's trying to submit a proposal, or he's pressing his phone, mommy is cooking in the kitchen. So that social connection is fading away. Thereby reducing the necessity to emphasize the importance of manners and respect.
So what you are saying is, you said at the beginning that you are putting a disclaimer that there's a percentage of people who are intentional. So what you are saying now is that if we are intentional as parents, because I want to put this particularly on parents because we are the custodians of our homes.
Yes,
so as parents,
begins at home.
Yes, as parents and couples, Mrs. Eniola is saying that we must hold that word of intentionality. And she's also saying that it will not be convenient because I hear her saying that, yes, we are busy and it is fast-paced, but we cannot throw away some foundational things that are very important to build the home and the family that will bring about adults, well, responsible, managed children who become adults, who also go and start their homes. So 2 things I'm getting from what Ms. Eniola is saying: there must be intentionality and we must be ready to pay the price. It's not going to be convenient. There's a sacrifice, to put in there. Thank you so much, Mrs. Eniola. You are really hitting it on the nail. So I also find out that, you talked about this familiarity among family members. Have you noticed that many times it's easier to be courteous to strangers? It's easier to say, "Oh, I'm sorry" to the person outside, and then at home you just push maybe your child and say, "What is it? Can't you understand?" or something. Why does it happen like that? Why is it that we pay more attention to strangers outside than to people? I know you've answered it, because you said charity begins at home. Or what do you think people we are actually trying to portray, appearing wonderful outside and then back at home is a different story? What do you think is really the problem?
Yeah, so you're very right, because typically we tend to be more intentional and self-aware with strangers or people who we meet outside. Very correct. But at home, people actually often let their guards down and assume, oh, my family members will understand. Oh, daddy will understand. Or they will tolerate. Oh, my sister will tolerate my poor behavior. Familiarity can actually breed carelessness. I mean, familiarity can breed, disrespect. And we reserve patience, politeness, our best manners for outsiders, right? Then we now come home and give our energy, the remaining energy we have left to people at home. No. So what needs to be done, or the reason it is so, is because there probably has not been ground rules, right? And then structure, because family relationships actually thrive when we deliberately extend the same courtesy to those at home that we naturally offer to people outside. Now, for example, I teach my children, if I may use the example, to serve. Like, just be a servant. Serve. Be a servant leader. Leaders are servants. Always be willing to serve. So if I say, fetch the school bottle, and it's my daughter who is fetching, I don't expect her to fetch hers first. As simple as that is, I tell her, fetch your brother's own first. If it's my son who is fetching, I say, fetch your sister's own first. If they are dishing out food, dish for the other person. Serve every other person before you serve yourself. And if I see that you're doing it the other way, I'll tell you, pour that water out into the other person's bottle and then fill your own. Yes. You have to serve. So if you do not want to repeat the same process around, you see that they're doing it right. So you have to put those things in place. Parents should not assume that, oh, they'll just figure it out. Oh no, my children will figure it out. No. You see those children that are complimented outside, their parents have done good job, intentional job, and deliberate job at home. You go to a school to pick up your child. In that same school, you see some children whose shirts are out of their shorts and they look rough and untidy. In that same school, you still see a child at the end of the day still looking neat and well put together. It is intentionality and upbringing. The parents of the child who is put together did not assume that, oh, my child will be neat or well behaved. No, they're conversations we have. They're practical conversations I have with my children. I tell them, as I'm dropping you off in school, that's how I want to pick you up from school. Neat and in order. Like intentional conversations. So if you just assume, you live in denial, and you just think, oh, my child will know, my child will figure it out. They will never figure it out. They will put out their best self there outside because, in quotes, that's not their safe space. Home is a safe space. That's the more reason why you have to have ground rules, how you talk to each other, how you respond. There will be conflict. It's fine. So how do you respond to conflict? Do you react? Do you respond? So you just have to be in the details and you have to be consistent. If you come up with a rule yesterday, don't say, oh, I'm tired today. And then you just say, go and do whatever you want. No, you stick to that rule and you say, no, that's not how we do it in this family. Go back and do the right thing. By the time you send the child back for the next 2 weeks, every day, the child will just accept that, okay, this is the norm. This is how we do it. They get used to it. But if you are not consistent, you come up with a rule today, you change it tomorrow, you come up with that. No, children thrive and excel and stand out when there's structure, there's order, there's consistency, and they know what is coming. So that's the difference. That is why it looks like we're more kind to strangers outside, because these things have not been properly discussed at home, talked about, corrected intentionally in the home. Thank you.
Thank you. As you were sharing the example that you do with your children about service, I said that Mrs Eniola, it looks like you were in my house today, because that was part of the morning devotion today. We're talking about service. And personally, my children know that I like being as practical as possible and I like starting from home. So I was asking them, how can we serve each other here at home? I gave an example. Clothes are outside. It's about to rain. Yes, the clothes are not this person's own, but you are there at home. So will you now say, it's not my clothes that is outside, so let the rain, do whatever. No, you go out and help, to do it. So that culture of not thinking about ourselves, and not taking ourselves for granted at home will help us, balance the way we would treat strangers
at home.
Yes, and even back at home. So that balance has to be there. And what I hear Ms. Eniola saying is consistency, structure, order. Like I usually tell my listeners, we are not in the military zone, but we need structure.
Yes, we do.
We need that order, especially in handling children, so that it becomes ingrained in them, and then they live it out as a lifestyle. Thank you so much, Mrs. Eniola. I'm really enjoying this. So, what are some unhealthy communication patterns that we parents unknowingly model? Because children emulate more of what they see us do beyond the long sermons and the long talking. So can you share with us the unhealthy patterns of communication that we parents and couples display that our children are consciously or unconsciously absorbing?
There are quite a number, but I'll just mention a few that happens on a day-to-day basis. For example, you're having a disagreement and you're raising your voice. We can have amicable disagreements. Don't raise your voice. Don't raise your voice at me. Don't do that. So those things, you do it because maybe you're feeling upset. No. So that's one, right? They're speaking to you and you're consistently interrupting them. Do the same. Even if they don't do it to you because maybe they feel like, oh, daddy has authority over mommy, oh, I'm scared. They will do it to other people, right? And then, this African modern thing where you are very sarcastic about things, or you ridicule people, yes, or one uses their language to mock someone else. Children are literally copycats. They're like sponges. Sometimes you see yourself in your child. And
not
the best thing for you to do
many times, Mrs.
A lot of times, yes. Actually, the best thing for you to do is just correct it. Especially when my son was younger, the first one, I used to see myself in him a lot. And I'm like, wow, this is me. So that gives me a nudge to do better. Because if I just tell him, don't do this. If I do it tomorrow, he feels like, mommy, are you okay? Like, you're doing with phrases like, stop crying. Why are you overreacting? No, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. Even the Bible says, be angry, but sin not. So there's room to be irritated. You understand? But how you... I mean, if you already deal in love, you will not even get to the stage of overreacting. Then you have this constant criticism with little encouragement. What happened to these so many other things that need encouragement? What happened to these so many other thumbs up? Then you are wrong, but you are refusing to apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, mommy, you hit me. I'm so sorry. That was not intentional. I'm sorry. So that your child too will be able to say, I'm so sorry to somebody else. Even though you feel like the child is exaggerating, or maybe the child overfell out of maybe you shoved the child up and the child, you know how we can be pissed, like, what is that? But you really have to model this communication patterns, or else you will just replicate yourself in your child. And speaking disrespectfully about other people, I tell my children, it's tantamount to gossiping. Anything you cannot say in the presence of somebody, the moment you're saying it behind them, because it is tantamount to gossiping. So whatever is something you can say in front of a person, fine. Except maybe you're reporting a case that happened. So the truth is, children learn communication far more by observing than by taking instructions. Because how many lectures do you want them to remember? But they will remember what they saw and what was consistently modeled before them. So yes, those are some of the healthy communication patterns.
I'm taking notes because I see myself. I see myself, Ifeno will be real. I will be very real to my listeners. Me too, I'm on the journey and I'm still growing in it, because sometimes the way we will just start shouting, and then after everything I ask myself, what just happened? So parents in particular, we are the role models to our children. We are the first teachers to our children. So we are being reminded that we need to watch the way we communicate with ourselves, even as spouses. Our children watch us. They know when there's this heated argument, or there's confusion or whatever. So we need to work on ourselves. So Mrs. Eniola is reminding us that we too, we are in school, and we need to be intentional about the way we relate with ourselves among the, in the home, so that our children will emulate the right communication patterns. Thank you so much, Mrs. Eniola. The next question I would like to ask you is, in our society today, I found out that something happens, an incident, somebody got involved in an accident, or the person fell down, missed their step, and instead of showing this empathy, we just find out that people with their phones, before you know what, it is content creation. They're recording. Or people just start laughing, for no reason. You just see people laughing at things. You see an elderly person maybe walking in a particular way. So I'm seeing this culture of lack of empathy in our society. do you think there's any connection between this lack of empathy in our society and the culture that is groomed back at home? And I'd like you to give reasons, for this, because it's becoming a growing concern. Even when I listen to the radio, I hear about it, that empathy is seriously eroding. People are like, it's not their business, they just go about what they want to do. They don't care. What do you think the home is not getting right? And why is it becoming, rampant in our world today?
Honestly, I remember how our parents used to say that back then. I mean, it takes a village to train a child. Everybody's child was every other person's responsibility. You cannot see a child going astray or doing something wrong and then you do not correct the child. But nowadays, you hear parents say things like, leave my child alone, don't correct, or they're going to schools to fight teachers who discipline their children. Anyway, to a significant extent, yes, I would say that the lack of empathy in society today actually begins from unhealthy culture at home and our ecosystem. And when I say ecosystem within this context, I mean that the environment we create for our children, the kind of friends we have, the kind of friends our children have. Now, the home is definitely a child's first classroom. And that also includes first classroom for learning empathy, for learning kindness, for learning patience, respect, emotional intelligence. When you give a child something, say thank you, thank you. When the child gives you something, make sure to say thank you. When the child helps you with something, make sure to open your mouth and say thank you. Yes, you're probably 30 years older than your child or 20-something years. You are modeling. Children are sponges. So they literally do the same thing you do. When children consistently experience being heard, being respected, being understood, they are definitely going to pay it forward. They are definitely going to extend the same treatment to others because that is what they know. Children who are bullies are being bullied at home or see their parents bully somebody or bully each other or something. Because children it doesn't just drop on their lap. No. It's something they must have seen consistently. That must be a pattern, and they feel in their brain has been wired to believe that that's the right way to handle something when you're not satisfied with it. So typically that's the only way they know how to respond. So if you grow up in an environment where feelings are ignored, harassment is normalized, maybe because you have an house help or you have a younger brother living with you, no respect, they will struggle to respond and accept the need of others because they don't know any better. That's what they know. That's what they've seen. Right? So yes, even though you're doing your best at home, you're training your child, you're doing everything, you also have to pay attention to who your child befriends. Who is your child's friend? Because friends have great influence on each other. Peers have a way of influencing each other. So yes, you're giving a wise child who has been thoroughly grounded, in home training, and also permits me to say in the word of God, will know that there are some things that I cannot do. The child will come home and tell you, Mom, can you imagine this happened? And I'm like, seriously, how can you do that? That's because the child understands. That's because the child has been grounded from home. Another child whose parents, is consistent today, inconsistent tomorrow, will say, okay, let's try it. Oh, let's do it. And will make wrong decisions, not because they're not trying at home, but maybe because they're not as consistent and as, thorough and as grounded and as diligent and as intentional as they should be. So yes, the home affects it majorly. However, you also need to be sure to know who your friends are, who your children are friends with, because their friends can also influence them. So, for example, personally, I intentionally create an ecosystem around my family. The people who are friends with me, I make sure they have similar values. They believe in God I believe in. We have similar values. We agree with the same things. We disagree with the same things. Because if you become close to me, my children will definitely relate and interact with you. I do not want you to contaminate my children. No. So you have to be that detailed to who you are bringing into your space. and whom you're taking your children to their space, because influence is subtle. Influence is not loud. Influence does not just jump on somebody. It is subtle. It's gradual consistency drops of water. And you do not know where it's getting. That's why some children will do some things and you say, where did you see it from? They say, oh, I watched it in TV on a cartoon that they probably have been watching over time, and that thing keeps registering in their brain. So there's a lot. Even cartoon also influences, because nowadays not everybody is kind in cartoons like the ones we used to watch when we were younger. So there are a lot of factors, not just in the home, there are a lot of other factors that actually makes children turn out in a particular way. So yes, school, peers, society influence behavior, but the home is one of the strongest foundations for developing empathy. The home is one of the strongest foundations. Thank you.
Wow. I took down this. Ms. Eniola said influence is very subtle. It's not loud. So over time, consistently, somebody or something, either what you see, what you watch, what the children are watching, are influencing them. And it now affects the way they see people, relate with people. She also talked about what kind of friends do we as parents keep, and also our children. Our children don't sit in our homes all day. They definitely will leave the home to go to school, to go wherever, and they'll meet people. So what kind of friends? And the kind of friends we also have will influence our children of the kind of friends they will have. That's the truth. Over time, when they see that, oh, daddy and mommy don't get involved in some certain activities or whatever, they don't keep late nights or whatever, you will find out that even the children would find it strange the day something changes. So the kind of influence we bring into our home, and even the people that live with us, have a way of also showing, influencing the way our children will relate with other people, showing empathy.
Yes.
So thank you so much for this. Mrs. Eniola is someone that she's not just talking about manners and respect because, she's a consultant and she has a business in that line. She's somebody that she was once a child, definitely, and she has grown. So I just want to ask, this question might sound personal, but please bear with me, Ms. Eniola. So has there been something from your upbringing, that shaped this understanding of your manners and respect? Is there something you could share? Because I believe in practicality of whatever we are discussing on At Home with Ifeno. And our experiences too are not accidental. So is there anything that, made you really take manners, respect, etiquette, beyond even the formal, like, okay, this is how you should behave when you are in the office or in a meeting? What helps you in your childhood to take this very seriously, and you have come up with what you do today? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. So, one of the things I tell people is that I remember when we were growing up, when our parents did something for you, and you say, thank you so much, Mom, thank you. The next day when you wake up in the morning, you hear my mother say, have you said thank you for yesterday? And then we go, oh, no. That means thank you for yesterday in my language, right? So you have to go and tell daddy, oh, daddy, thank you so much for yesterday. Mommy, thank you for yesterday. I mean, my parents were big on respect. You cannot greet an elder and you're standing. You have to show some level of courtesy, And we had a lot of people staying with us. My mom is the firstborn. My dad is the firstborn. All their younger ones stayed with us for a period of time. Thank you so much for yesterday. And she's like, she's not Yoruba. I'm Yoruba. Yoruba people are big on respect. She goes, which one is thank you for yesterday? You want to kill me with thank you? I'm like, I'm so sorry. That's my home training. Like, I cannot do it any other way. That's all I know how to do. So my mom was very big on manners, behavior, morals. You cannot leave, and we were all girls. I mean, we're all girls. You cannot leave the house dressed in a way that your cleavage is showing, or your buttocks, the upper part of your buttocks will be showing when you bend down. No. My mom's gonna assess you before you go out. And you do not want her to meet you outside and you're not properly dressed. She will walk up to you and be pulling up your top in front and say, what is all this? Cover up. Why did you leave the house? So my mom was pretty intentional. I don't know, maybe because she had all girls, but she was pretty intentional, even in the house. I'm saying we were all girls. Permit me to say you cannot come out early in the morning without wearing your underwears. My mom will send you back and say, go back inside, dress properly, even though you haven't had the bath before coming out. Then you cannot just come out like that. What if a guest is here? We're like, no, it's just daddy. She says, this is my husband's house. Go back and wear underwear, come out. Or she'll say, worst case scenario, tie a wrapper on your chest. You know, so those things really, really did shape me, because I cannot go to somebody's house. Maybe I'm traveling, I'm transiting, I'm in transit, and then I have to sleep over at your house. And then I come out from the room, you're being hospitable. I come out from the room, you put me in, and then I'm not dressed with underwear. No, I will dress properly until I go say good night, and I know I'm not coming out until the next day. You understand? I've had people come to my house, you know, maybe for sleepovers and stuff. They're not properly dressed. And I'm like, please go back inside, dress properly. This is my house. I have a husband. I have children here. I need them to know what is right. So those are practical examples that shaped me. The type of nightwear I will wear in my own home is different from the type of nightwear I will wear if I'm having a sleepover at my sister's house. It's different because my sister is married. It's different from the type of nightwear I will wear if I am going to my parents' house. You understand? So all these things are as basic as they are. My mother was intentional about emphasizing and dwelling on it, that I do not even know any other way to do it. In fact, if I have a guest and I hear a knock on the door, I'm cooking, maybe I'm in my nightie and I do not have probably underwears up on, I will run to the room and dress properly because I just keep hearing my mother's voice in my head. I can't imagine my mother being here and I'm like walking up and down, jingling the bells. She's going to ask me, what? Phone as big as I am, she'll ask me, what? Like, seriously? You know, so so those things, and then we were all girls. So those things totally formed us, shaped us, and made us better. So I can't relate when I see people not being respectful, not being grateful. I can't relate when I see people exposing their cleavages and dressing in a particular way. Why? You know, I know there are reasons people do that, because they lack self-esteem, they're not confident, they feel like it's a way to get people's attention, get favors. I don't know, more to it, but that's a story for another day. But so these are just some practical examples that shaped my understanding of manners and respect, and how you will be accepted positively or negatively. In those days when we were younger, people loved respectful children. And even till now, people will give advantage or opportunities to children that they know stand out, are respectable, are responsible, are well-behaved, and are put together, than a child who is not well-mannered at all. Oh, yes. People still appreciate it, but a lot of parents have just lost touch with what they need to do, or some truly don't even know what they need to do. And some are just flowing with the tide, like, this is what is happening, we follow what is raining. This is what is happening, we follow what is raining. So truly, I was shaped, molded, pruned by my parents, you know, especially my mother. She was so big on a lot of what. My daddy is very calm. So except he feels like he needs to contribute, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say so much. But so those are practical examples I could give.
You know, thank you so much for your response. And I completely agree with her. As she was speaking, I now said, so I'm not the only one that behaves like this. I'm telling you, that was what that came to my mind. Because sometimes even my husband would be like, you're in your house now, be free. I would say, I'm in my house, I'm free, but somebody comes to my door now, or I can't just walk like that.
To change.
Yes, that early in the morning, no matter how early, I will be properly dressed. So when she was saying it, I said, please, some people should come and hear that it's not only Ifeno that. So I'm now confident that there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not overdoing it.
No, you're not. You're not.
Eniola has come to vindicate me for my acts. Thank you so much. And thank God for mommy, so she's just telling us the power and influence you can have as a parent. Please, never underestimate what you are doing in your children's life. And that's why we must be careful, to watch. We should watch the negative part of our lives. Not that we'll not make mistakes, but Eniola has also told us when we make mistakes, we should apologize. We should tell our children that this thing I did is not right. I tell my children, you will not believe. I will even tell them, I say, please tell me the area, even though I know that even if they're telling me to do something just to favor them, I know. Yeah. But when they honestly tell me things that I know I need to work on, I would know. I have gotten to that point with my children. Sometimes even when I'm feeling guilty, they'll be like, my daughter will say, mommy, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'll be like,
she's emotionally intelligent as well.
He will say, Mommy, it's not that bad. No, she'll tell you, she'll say, Mommy, continue. It's for our own good. You can imagine my daughter saying that. So we parents, we are really the role models our children are going to emulate, and we must take manners and take respect and take the courtesy and everything that we would do to a stranger. Let's start from home and let's take it seriously. So what will be your final words, Mrs. Eniola, for this first part of the tone of a home? Why manners and respect still matters in a family? Your closing words for today.
Okay, so my closing word for today will be, every home has a tone, whether it is being created intentionally or accidentally. Every home has a tone. If only you would just sit down with your child and have conversations with them, ask them questions, you'll be amazed at the things they will say. So the atmosphere of a home is built one conversation after the other, one response after the other, one act of kindness after the other, one moment of respect at a time. Manners are not outdated traditions. No. They are tools that help us to create homes where people feel valued, where people feel heard, safe, and loved. So the truth is, if we desire a more respectful society, we must first cultivate respectful homes. Because the tone of a home today is often becomes the character of tomorrow's generation. So yes, you are creating a tone, whether you're doing it intentionally or accidentally. Make sure you're intentional about it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mrs. Onakoya, for this. And we're looking forward to the next episode. Like I said, there's going to be a part 2 of it. Dear listeners, don't miss it for anything. And like she has told us that every home has a tone. Every one of us is building something. So we need to be intentional and consistent with the right things. Thank you so much, Mrs. Eniola.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
so
God
much. I look forward to the next episode. Amen. Have a good day. Thank you, ma'am.
And you too. Thanks for joining us this week on the At Home with Ifeno podcast. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17 and on YouTube at Home with Ifeno podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch every new episode and leave us a comment so we can build a strong community. See you in 2 weeks' time.